Climate Control. Hasn't raced since. I think Seamus keeping this one fresh for a tilt at a race in the final. Well, I tell you what, this next race is worth €4,000 to the winner. It is known as the Paddy Power Irish Derby Consolation. And we're going to find out from Graham now, trackside, what he thinks of all that lovely prize money on offer here this evening.
Well, it's certainly very, very tremendous, Paul, isn't it? And a bit like the performance of Trap 6 there, moving customer in that previous event, which I'm glad to hear that you were tipping. I'm pleased to say a man alongside me that was also involved is Paddy Power himself. Paddy, well done on that winner, and well, what a night to be here, and well, from your point of view as well.
And even back to winner, unbelievable stuff. It's great. It's a brilliant night so far. I mean, the sellout crowd, the works, everybody cheered that fella home, so everybody's happy, a few pounds in their pockets. Yeah,
very happy, I think, here at the track. Tell us a bit about your involvement now in this. I think it's the third year you've been sponsoring. Must be a great thing for you.
That's right, it's 3 years now. This is our third year of 3, and I suppose we saw that Irish dog racing was completely on the up, and you can see that by the crowds we've had. Each year of our 3-year sponsorship has been packed, full house on final night. Last year full house at semi-final night. This year full house even quarter-final night, and it's really grown a substantial amount. And Dog Racing Ireland really needed a really big race and a big prize, so 150 grand is kind of it's really put the carrot out there for all the top dogs, and they'll all come here, and it works out to be a super race.
It's not a bad night's work, is it? €150,000, and well, who's going to get it tonight? That's the question we want to ask you. You've had that winner. Who's going to get it tonight?
Well, I think that well, Bypass Byway obviously is a deserved favourite, but I think Droopy's Reese will be the one. I'll be carrying a few of my euros, I think, and I also have to say to Kieran Burke, one of our odds compilers, he claimed a couple of weeks ago that if Droopy's Reese wins the Greyhound Derby, he'll drop his trousers on final night. So everybody beware of that later on.
Oh dear, I think we'll keep our eyes on that most definitely. And this next race coming up, again, very competitive. It is the consolation final. Anything here? I know Climate Control, I think, fancy, but also the 4-dog as well.
Yeah, I think if Climate Control gets away, I think he'll probably win. But I think there could be a bit of trouble here. If Born a Pilot, the 4-dog, will definitely be slow out of the traps. Number 3, Olden Times, will come right as soon as he comes out of the trap. So if he hampers Climate Control at all, then Born a Pilot will be the one to take advantage of the inside. Climate Control was really unlucky not to qualify the last time. He got a knock on the first bend, nearly made it clear, and he would have scampered home that night. But I think for the value, I think Born a Pilot will be a bigger price, so I'll be having a bit of him, I think.
And the future for this event, you're still very much looking to continue?
Well, at the moment, we were delighted with how it's gone this year, so fingers crossed. We say I hope everything works out for the same again next year.
Well, very much, and our thanks go to you for your part in this tremendous event here at Shelbourne Park tonight. Well, he was in the winners again. Unlike me, what happened to track 1, I'm not quite sure. I think I'll just stick to interviewing the men that know what they're talking about. And talking of 2 men that know what they're talking about, let's go back to the studio and join Jason and Paul.
Yes, poor old Graham. His winning tickets, they're rather like the Loch Ness Monster. There has been plenty of rumours, but no one's ever seen any proof.
Well done. So, next race up then, the action coming thick and fast and furious pace here. Look at this. Olden Times is going to be my selection here. I am a bit afeard of Climate Control, I must admit, but I just fancy that Reggie Roberts could get his first winner of the night. Son of Stapler's Joe. This one, as we said, had already beaten Climate Control. Was a 5-2 chance on that occasion. Climate Control on the same night was also 5-2. I don't think there's going to be anything to choose between them here this evening. So who gets first run for me?
Quinella.
It's got to be 3 and 5.
There you go. Lots of ways to play here on Gobarkingmad. Sometimes, if you fancy 2 and you can't split them, Quinella's the way to go. Or, of course, if you want, you can just back them each individually. It is completely up to you. As ever, though, we'll have a look at a few more of these. One who I think could push the 2 principals is Trap 4. This is a Born-Up Pilot. We'll bring up the form for you. And, well, obviously, met Bypass Byway last time out. But before that, had posted a good victory round here. 30.17.
Yeah, that was in the quarterfinals, Jason. Beat Tyra Bello, who we all know by now lines up in the final. Came with a wet sail on that occasion. Last time out, Border Pilot was beaten by Bypass Byway when getting knocked out in the semi-final stage. But we can take in a piece of VT, which will show that kind of Skurlow champish type of performance from Born Pilot on the 31st of August. Runs from the same trap as well, which is interestingly on the 31st from Trap 4. Just watch this.
Yeah, this is going to be an impressive performance, beating, of course, the one who's now going to go into the Derby final, but absolutely, well, lifeless coming out of the traps there. A little bit of trouble, which it got involved in as well, which makes it what's going to happen next all the more exciting and invigorating. Look at trap 4, Born a Pilot, a couple of there in his way. Goodbye, fellas. I'm squeezing through there, and now it just comes up on the outside, and Born a Pilot is going to come with a rare rattle at the finish. It's done it the hard way. It's battered, it's bruised, but it's victorious.
Yeah.
You couldn't help but like that.
It was good. Just taking the parade. Just missed track 1. There is the two-dog Jet Spray, Droopy's Glory, we know, owned by Terry Corden. There's track 3.
Sorry, Paul. Coming up next, trap 3, Olden Times. This is your selection. Got a nice little jacket on there with the Paddy Power logo.
There's trap 4. This is Born a Pilot, the Peter VT we just saw. Watch for that one late and fast.
Here's my boy, trap 5. Very luminous orange jacket it's got on as well. Climate Control by Larkhill Joe out of Ballinclare Star. So bred in the purple, September 2000.
Yeah, and in trap 5, that's Climate Control just gone through there. There's Myrnog Celt from the Collins Kennel. Michael Collins, there you'll see, is the trainer. Lenson Billy is the father of this one, interestingly enough, as well. Jan 2000, well, best time of 30.28 on the card. He says just step up and find a couple of lengths.
Yeah, needs to step up and find a couple of lengths. Just tell you, 2 minutes to the next race at Wheeling Downs if you want to get involved there. We can have a look, though, at the runners listed, and you can see their weights. Who's the heaviest? I should empathise with them, shouldn't I? That's trap 3, Olden Times, weighing in at 78 pounds. Who's the lightest? Looking down, that's trap 1, Droopy's Gloria, 64 pounds. Like so many ladies, often on a diet there. So they're the runners. Now, we've had a look at a few of these contenders. We've looked at 3, 4 and 5. Any chance for the others, Paul?
Well, Jet Spray was one of the fancy runners when the prices first came out. I don't know what's happening there. It looks like the Eurovision Song Contest again, doesn't it?
Nil Pois de Norway. That's all you've got to know about that. Yeah, trap 2, Jet Spray. Let's have a look at this. That was really to the fore early on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. And there you'll see, did qualify, was knocked out again at the semi-final stage, was third behind Droopy's Reeds in the quarters, but was knocked out behind Droopy's Agassi when we saw all that melee on the inside, if you remember.
That's right. Remember, not too long until the big one now. If you want to look forward to that, who could blame you? Do so on our website and, of course, on our red button, our interactive services. Now, who do they fancy there on Eurotrack? Well, it's trap 5. No big surprise that they're coming for Climate Control. We can see their forecast. Remember, it's Quinella here, even better on Gobarkingmad. And again, no surprises. The 2 they want to know about are 3, Olden Times, and 5, Climate Control. Next best 4, Born a Pilot.
Yep. So it's going to be a battle royale for me for early supremacy between Olden Times in 3 and 5. A Climate Control, intriguing contest for our next.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And it is all hotting up, of course. Hey, we can see there some late support for trap number 4. That's very interesting, isn't it? That's Born a Pilot, of course, who they're coming for in... late on, but it's still 5 and 3 who have the call. But I think 3, 4 and 5, they are certainly the fancied runners here. If I was going to throw in another one, as I'm so prone to do, it would have to be trap 1, Droopy's Gloria for me. Pretty well drawn. Forget its last run behind Bypass Byway. Before that, had put in some fair performances, principally on the 31st of August, when just beaten a couple of lengths by Born a Pilot, who goes in trap 4 today.
Yep, so they're just gathered behind the start then at the 550 metre boxes. Don't forget, this is the same course and distance as the Paddy Power Irish Derby final. The stepping forward now, it's not going to be long. Will it be 3? Will it be 5?
Will it be 3? Will it be 5? Or any of the others? If you've made your choice, hopefully you'll be screaming and shouting as they're coming round that final turn. That's what it's all about. Enjoying yourself here on Gobarkingmad. And we have picked some fine fare this evening, haven't we? The Irish Derby for you. That's coming up next. But now we've got the Derby Consolation, a corking race in its own right. Just to remind you of the selections, I'm keen on 5, Climate Control. Paul likes 3, Olden Times. And we think that those 2 together should make up the Quinella.
Yeah, great shot of the dogs going behind the traps there. Let's go across then. Michael Fortune's got to call them home in the 8th. The Paddy Power Derby Consolation.
Indeed, they are now on the way for the final well, the consolation final of the Paddy Power Irish Derby. In trap order 1 we have Droopy's Gloria, in 2 Jet Spray, trap 3 Olden Times, 4 Borna Pilot, in 5 the Favourite, Climate Control, and trap 6 Marno Celt. The hare coming up behind the traps, the dogs all set, and away they go. And first to show, Climate Control in 5. On the inside, trap number 2 Jet Spray, into the corner, it's 2 Jet Spray, 5 Climate Control, into the corner, and Climate Control takes it up on the outside. In second now Jet Spray, back in third Olden Times, but down the far side, Climate Control now starting to ease his way to the front from number 2 Jet Spray, back in third number 4 Borna Pilot, coming with his thundering run, but out front it's still number 5 Climate Control. Olden Times now squeezes into second, back in third Jet Spray, Borna Pilot forced to check, but still out front Climate Control. Olden Times coming with a real run, but up the home straight, and Climate Control gets there. It's very close for second, perhaps number 3 Olden Times. The winning time 29.86. What a race, what a performer. He'll be short for next year's Derby.
Very, very impressive by trap 5 Climate Control. Congratulations if you were on the orange jacketed runner there. Tight for second. I think that trap 3 Olden Times may have just got up for the Quinella position there, but we will have to wait for that photo. But a decent performance here from trap 5 Climate Control.
Cracking time as well, 29.86, and I'm really pleased for Seamus Graham as well. He's had plenty of runners this evening. That's his first, so well done to Seamus. Climate Control, for me, showing great guts. Didn't lead until round the second turn. But this is what I like about the Shelbourne circuit. They come round the bend. There's not too much trouble there, is there? You know, 2 and 5 have had clear runs, but 5 is obviously the faster out of the pair.
Yeah, trap 3 Olden Times actually got its legs just taken away there, or heated I should say, and came with a rare rattle at this point. I didn't know who to pick between 5 and 3, but after that early skirmish, perhaps that took something out of Olden Times, and 5 was just waiting to come through with that final thrust there and to take the race. It is very, very close for the minor places. We will bring that as soon as we can, of course, but no doubts about the winner, and well done to you at home if you managed to pick up trap 5. That was, of course, Climate Control. Now, as that race was going on, and we have been concentrating quite rightly on Shelbourne Park, we've had a couple of races at Wheeling Downs.
Yeah, it's a couple of races that we've actually missed, so apologies for that, but obviously you were able to get involved by pressing your red button, scanning through those form pages. You can kind of choose whichever race you want to go for. Look at the form, make your mind up, and then make your selections. Well, race 13 and 14 we've missed. We're going to show you those 2 races now. First of all, race 13 from Wheeling Downs.
Yes, the 13th race on their card. I can tell you that trap number 6 was quite well fancied in this race, and it did get off there smartly as well. Had 1 and 7 for company. Then we could go back to 2, 8, 3, 5, 4, labouring at the back at this stage. But now it's trap 1. It's BD's Lou, who's gone on from a couple of lengths from the well fancied 6. That's KG's Chebby Chev. We can see 2 rushing through into second place, 7 back in 4th. The inside runners really have had the call at Wheeling Downs thus far this evening. And trap 1, BD's Lou, is going to run all the way to the line. Nearest challenger is going to be 2, but it's going to be a 1, 2, 8, race 13 there at Wheeling Downs.
Yeah, we've seen the trends there actually. A lot of the dogs that are getting to the front early are managing to hang on, aren't they, this evening at Wheeling Downs. I wonder if that was the same for their 14th race, which we can take a look at now. There it is. The 14th race from this matinee. Trap 3 again. This is Abbott, a good fellow. Fairly well fancy on the top, but watch that for early pace, Jason. Whoosh into that first bend, leading by about 5 lengths, and it was ta-da down the far side. That is an absolute scintillating burst of early pace.
Yeah, have you had a bet with someone that you could get whoosh and ta-da in the same commentary there? Very, very impressive stuff indeed. A beat, a good fellow, is going to go on and take it here from trap 1, who did look like it had every chance there, but it's going to be a 3-1-5. That was the 14th race at Wheeling Downs. But now, this is what we've been waiting for, isn't it? It's the big one coming up. We can see there the presentation to Climate Control for winning the consolation.
Yeah, there's Paddy Power. Look, holding that trophy there. Beautiful bowl. That will probably be Waterford Crystal, I would have thought there. And see all the connections there. Jerry Desmond also there on parade. He always gets involved. Fair play to Jerry. We saw him in an interview earlier on with our man trackside, Graham Woodward.
Yes, we certainly did. But as I was alluding to, it is the big one coming up now. This is what we've been waiting for. The Paddy Power Irish Derby 2002. The thoughts, the opinions. Everybody's been talking about it, haven't they? Now we're going to find out who's right. We'll bring up the card. And then we can start talking about this one. We know who Paul likes already. He's been telling us that it is trap 5 over trap 4. I'm going with 2 others. It's going to be 6 and 1 for me. So that just shows you how tight it is at the head of affairs. But Paul, trap 5, bypass byway, your fancy for the big one.
Yeah, it is my fancy for the big one. It's interesting as well because Climate Control ran from trap 5 in our previous race. And again, Seamus Graham's son of Larkhill Joe took that first bend beautiful. And it kind of reminded me of the way that Bypass Byway swept past Droopy's Reese in the semi-finals. Now, Black Son of Spiral Nikita out of Sandy Penny. Impressive strike rate. And if you remember, Jason, on the 31st of August, a bit of a scare for the supporters of Bypass Byway. Out of the traps, he stumbled, and he did so well to find his feet and just qualify. He's gathered himself once more. Look at that, fastest of the round, 29.68. Incredible time.
Certainly was a good performance, but I've taken a theory on that race that trap 5 bypass byway had it all to do to beat Droopy's Reese. What I mean is they were close up, hammer and tongs, and they pushed each other to a faster time. Now, Droopy's Agassi, who is going to be my selection in trap 6, didn't post such a quick time, just posted a 29.87, but it had the race sewn up a long way out, so it didn't have that other greyhound pushing it all the way. Well drawn today, couldn't be drawn better. This quick starter, Droopy's Agassi, I think will, well, if it's not been encumbered by having that early injury scare that we heard about earlier in the week and we saw here on Gobarkingmad, I feel would take all the beating here with that early, fast-paced trap 6, Droopy's Agassi. I think there's more to come from this one.
Yeah, of course, Owen McKenna, he's been associated with his father for a long, long while, and his father has trained 4 winners, I beg your pardon, 3 winners of the Irish Derby. No stranger to sending a dog over to the English Derby. But I tell you what, the 2 semi-finals, they were absolutely excellent. We saw a tussle between Droopy's Reese in trap 3 and Bypass Byway in trap 5. We can take a look now at the semi-final form. There you'll see Droopy's Reese was in 3, burst from the boxes along with the 5. The 2 big boys dominating, but watch 5 take the bend here. Beautiful round that. I thought just 3 eased off the gas a little bit. Now, he can't afford to do that with all those trio inside him because there are obviously faster dogs in the final.
Yeah, and remember, though, that trap 5 bypass byway basically could do what it liked on the outside there. May have Droopy's Agassi to contend with on the outside.
Without a doubt. That is going to be, obviously, that's why it's not a foregone conclusion. But if you think they had all clear runs in that semi-final there, you'd say that Bypass Byway with that kind of track craft is going to be a big runner in the final. Now there's Serene Rumble in 5, Droopy's Agassi in 6, up towards, watch the puppy lose his footing at the first bend. He gets knocked out at this stage, and there's all sorts of shenanigans and crowding around the first couple of turns. Droopy's Agassi has taken full advantage of that and raced away by around about 8 lengths at this point. And there you'll see out of the crowd come Tamna Rose and Tyra Bello. Up towards the line, though, Droopy's Agassi probably just coming back to him somewhat, but he's done enough damage early doors. It's that early pace that's going to take him into a handy position, and it will be a crucial tussle between Droopy's Agassi in 6 and Bypass Byway in trap 5.
Oh, it is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is what we've been looking forward to. Right, we're going to post up our selections now. We're going to be brave about it. It's trap 6, Droopy's Agassi for me. I think that electric early pace, and if one does come to it, it can go even quicker. And as a bit of value for the Quinella, I'm going to throw in trap number 1 as well. So 6 and 1 for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 5 to beat 4. To be fair, I thought that after seeing Droopy's Reese in the quarterfinals, it was an awesome display. But your best judgment is from on the eye. We saw Droopy's Reese and Bypass Byway in action in the semi-finals. For me, trap 5, Bypass Byway was the faster dog, and that's going to be all important on the break. Don't get me wrong, but it is going to be an intriguing final. Now, Graham, what do you think? Who's going to win the final?
Well, I'm not too sure. I have to say it's very, very open, isn't it? I mean, before the injury problem, I would have gone maybe for the 6 dog, but of course, maybe that was a bit of value. It still could be, but obviously with the problems that that one's had again during the course of the week, then the price has drifted and the interest has gone slightly. But I just don't think Owen McKenna would have that one running if it wasn't up to its best. So we shall see in a few moments. But well, Paul, joining me now alongside me, a man that used to know you in your younger days. God, it must have been a fair while ago. But it's a delight to welcome here Roy Brindley. And well, Roy, you write for the Greyhound Monthly magazine, but this very much is your home track, and you are a regular here. So on a night like tonight, how does it rate in the sporting events?
Oh, this is huge. This is monstrous. This is one of the biggest sporting events in Ireland every year. To put it in perspective, the Prime Minister, hands over the trophy. Can you imagine Tony Blair turning up at Wimbledon to hand over the William Hill Derby trophy? It's not going to happen, It's on national TV on RTE. Everybody's got an interest. I spoke to Paddy Power. Unprecedented interest on the race. It's monstrous.
And the people here as well. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, we were talking about bookmakers. There's something like 25 bookmakers down there taking money and taking plenty of it. There's thousands of people here. The interest, I mean, we know it's one of the top industries here, but it's got to be great for the sport.
Absolutely. They'll be queuing out to pay out, long beyond the last race tonight. It is... you can't really put it to... Everybody that knows me would say, what do you fancy? Derby, Derby, Derby. That's the way it goes. It's just... huge. The guy in the paper shop, the guy in the petrol station, anybody that knows anybody's having a bet on the Derby tonight. It is probably, they always come at the old cliche, dog racing the second biggest spectator sport in the UK. Well, it may be, but the same people go through the front door. Not so in Ireland. Most people have an interest.
Okay, well, we can see just there that the presentation for the previous race is just completed. We'll bring you back in. I can tell you the atmosphere here is absolutely tremendous. Roy, once again, just to say that the draw, the parade will be taking place in a few moments. On to the big race. What's going to be your selection here?
It's an absolute total match. There's only 2 dogs which can win it. That's the 4 Droopy's Reese and the 5 Bypass Byway. They're the only possible winners. Droopy's Agassi has had an absolute dream run. He has had the weakest quarter-final, the weakest semi-final. He's an early-paced dog, turns right at every bend. He's not good enough. Forget about the injury threat. He's not good enough. He's 3 lengths short. If I was laying a spread on the race, I'd be selling him at 2.5 lengths down, Unfortunately, the 1, 2 and 3, great dogs. 1 and 3, terrific finishers. The 2 is an admirable dog, but can't win if he doesn't lead. They can't win. It is an absolute total match. I know Droopy's Reese was beaten last week, 1/2 length by Bypass Byway. He was 3 lengths behind at one stage. But the trainer, Reggie Roberts, is a magician. Trust me on this, he's an absolute magician. And I can see him turning around the form quite convincingly tonight.
Okay, so it's going to be trap 4 for you. I think the parade is, well, imminent here. The noise is absolutely electrifying. What we'll do, we'll hand back to the boys in the studio to take you through the parade for the 2002 PaddyPower.com Irish Greyhound Derby.
Thanks there to Graham, and as was mentioned there, could you imagine Tony Blair giving over a trophy at Wimbledon? I do not think so. Bertie Ahern, of course, he is the Irish Prime Minister who will be handing out the prize.
Tell you what as well, Roy Brindley was a bit forthright there, wasn't it? Put Droopy's Agassi firm in his place. Well, I suppose that's what he gets paid to do. Well done to Roy. He's scaled the dizzy heights there of... the Greyhound Monthly, and he's done very well for himself. But he says it's a 2-dog race. We think otherwise. Jason fancies trap 6. I think that trap 5 is going to beat trap 4. So we think that anything can win it. Let's hope that we get a clean run race. That's all we want for the final.
Yeah, that certainly is all we want, and an absolute corker, of course. I'm sure it's going to be. This is what we've been leading up to all evening, and there we go. We can see the dog of the year last year, the Late Show, named after that great show with Gay Byrne there. And as ever here on Gobarkingmad, when we run out of ideas, we show some puppies.
Yeah, so Late Show, an absolute awesome machine. Interesting to see in the papers as well that the owner of Droopy's Reese said if you could own any other greyhound, who would it be? And he said Late Show.
Absolutely fantastic stuff then. Greyhound racing really on the up and up in Ireland and all around the world, and we like to think that we're helping doing our part here. Now, we have mentioned quite rightly, of course, 4, 5 and 6. Trap 1, Tamna Rose. She's only the only bitch in the race. Now, bitches, they haven't got a bad record here in the Irish Derby. Better than the English Derby, that's for sure.
Yep, Tamna Rose then, she represents the fairer sex, a daughter of Come On Ranger out of Quare season. June 99 whelp is Tamna Rose. She won one round to qualify. That was in the quarterfinals on the 31st of August when she beat Olden Times. Came from off the pace to do so, to beat Reggie Roberts' greyhound, who was knocked out at the semi-final stage behind Bypass Byway, who is our current favourite.
Yes, that's Bypass Byway. That is where the support is lying at the moment. We can see now that they are going to do the parade for this, the 2002 Paddy Power Irish Derby. Remember, €150,000.
I was just going to say that, Jason. Could you imagine being an owner of one of these greyhounds now? What can you be going through? Just thinking about 100k. Not just that, obviously you're thinking about your dog or your bitches if you owned Tamna Rose, but it's a phenomenal experience, unbelievable. And when you think about it as well, what would they be worth at stud, some of these dogs, if they won? Obviously Tamna Rose, she'll be quite sought after, wouldn't she? Tyra Bellows next. That's the second of Paul Hennessy's charge.
Yeah, got to have every chance. I think Tyra Bello of perhaps running into a place winning may just be stretching it that little bit, but certainly a good-looking sort. £72, Tyra Bello by Spyro Nikita out of Lochnaman Lady. And, well, we're getting a very good view of the blue-jacketed runner. Next up is Trap 3 Heavenly Hero. Now, statistics are against this one. I can tell you that Trap 3 has not won the Irish Derby since Belvedere Bran in 1983. So that's some 19 years, but Heavenly Hero, £73, looking fine and fit and up for it today, trained by Johnny Donahoe, and this one's by Always Good out of Mam's Choice.
Yeah, and in Trap 4 we got one of the big runners there. Obviously a lot of English supporters behind this son of Jamaican hero out of High Night, who I believe was a marathon bitch for Ernie Gaskin, I think I'm correct in saying. Reggie Roberts is the trainer, and there you'll see the owner there, Mr. McNunn, who was interviewed in the paper. As I said to you, if he wanted to own another dog, it would be Late Show, and we saw that out on parade. Incredible, isn't it?
Yes, the great Late Show. And, well, now we have the great Bypass Byway. A lot of people's favourite for this race. Some see it as a good thing. Ollie Bray, he's the trainer by Spyro Nikita out of Sandy Penny, May 2000. This is the one they have all got to beat, in absolutely scintillating form last time out when taking the semi-final in a time of 29.68.
Look at him, and he's handsome as well. That beautiful white stripe down his big black face. He, for me, is one of the most handsome dogs on parade here. There's Droopy Zagassi then. Hope all is well for this greyhound. Ian McKenna, well, he's already had a winner. This is owned by Owen and also a big owner, David Miles, son of Top Honcho out of Droopy's Cheryl, bred in the purple, and looking to give Sean Dunphy his first winner in the Irish Derby as a breeder. He's got two that's represented him, Droopy's Agassi and Droopy's Reese.
Yeah, Droopy's Agassi, you remember, had that slight injury scare, but we think that everything's okay. Owen McKenna, I'm sure, wouldn't be running it if that wasn't the case. There was
everyone keeps saying that, but wouldn't you, if you had a chance to run in the Irish Derby, wouldn't you just run him and take your chance anyway?
Well, it depends what type of injury, to be fair, doesn't it? If it was niggling one, yeah, I totally agree with you.
Exactly.
If it was something that could obviously,
he's got to take his chance as long as it isn't, you know, a serious injury. And I think obviously experienced runners and trainers all one in this here. Just look there, 11-8 now, Bypass Byway, and so that is a nice price there, actually, isn't it? Has come in for support, but it was 5-4 yesterday. Now come out to 11-8, 2-1 now. Droopy's Reese, that will be popular with the English following. There'll be plenty of them out there. They're the two greyhounds for money. We can go across, I reckon, just to get a little bit of the atmosphere from our man trackside, Graham Woodward.
Yeah, thanks very much, Paul. We're back here trackside alongside me, Jonathan Hobbs. The greyhounds are behind the boxes for this 2002 Derby final. Jonathan, about to go in, your final thoughts?
Well, they're packed trackside, aren't they? I mean, you know, the betting suggests that Trap 4, Droopy's Reese, is going to carry the flag of pretty much myself and a lot of the English contingent here, and I'm sure he's got a massive chance. You'd have to say that Bypass Byway on semi-final form is going to show that early pace and that pace from 2 to 3, but at a big price. You have to say that Paul Hennessy pretty much been discounted almost very, very nearly sort of successful last year with Late Show. He could have had it last year. He might have it this year at a big price, but it's got to be 4 for me.
The winner of the Paddy Power Irish Derby for 2002. The Derby roar goes up. The hair on the way. In trap order 1, Tamna Rose. In 2, Tyrur Bellow. In trap 3, Heavenly Hero. In 4, Droopy's Reese. In 5, Bypass Byway. And trap 6, Droopy's Agassi. The crowd are going mad here at Shelbourne Park. The hair up behind traps. And away they go. And first to show is Bypass Byway. On the middle is number 4, Droopy's Reese. On the outside, Droopy's Agassi. Around the corner, it's Bypass Byway that leads. From number 6, Droopy's Agassi. Back in third, number 4, Droopy's Reese. But Bypass Byway leads 4 lengths, 5 lengths, 6 lengths down the back straight. Second, Droopy's Reese. Second, on the outside, Droopy's Agassi. But this is all about one greyhound. Bypass Byway has not going to be beaten. Running on behind us, number 3, Heavenly Hero, also Droopy's Reese. But Bypass Byway runs into the record books. The 71st Derby winner. What a performance. Second, number 4, Droopy's Reese. And third, Heavenly Hero. But what a winner. Bypass Byway. I can tell you folks, I've never seen a more emphatic Derby winner in the last number of years. I really can't explain what a performance that was. It really is top class greyhound, top class connections, and I'll tell you what, an exciting race that was.
An absolute stunner. Bypass Byway has absolutely blown them away there, a long way in front of Drap 4 Droopy's Reese. Now let me just tell you, biggest margin of victory prior to this race was in 1960. We're going back 42 years. Perry's Apple won by 6 lengths. I think that could be challenging that record.
Absolutely awesome performance. He's only just cleared him, to be fair. He's done enough though, hasn't he? He takes the bend so well, Jason. This is such a good bend runner. Look, 6 was going out into the car park. We'll watch this from start to finish. He broke pretty well. I mean, he didn't smash clear or anything like that. These are top notches here. Just watch for the inside runners as well. I think they got a little bit outpaced into the first bend, but he's broken marginally the best, I fancy. Although 1 smashed the lids as well. She's moved off and hit 2. But look, his early pace, he's led 6 comfortable. He's ducked in into the middle of the course, and this is where he goes clear. And that was a stunning performance. 29.42. He has smashed the trap record. So I can quite confidently say this week that Bypass Byway has done the clock on Gobarkingmad.
Absolutely fantastic. Could we ask for more? Well, we couldn't have expected this. Bypass Byway's gone and trounced them, absolutely trounced them, and broken the clock to boot there. Coming clear of Trap 4 Droopy's Reese. Will be interesting to see what the winning margin was there. Back in third, got to just mention a good run there by Heavenly Hero, but this was effectively a one-dog affair. It is away out in front. Bypass Byway. Well, get out the brasso, fellas. This is going to be winning a lot of trophies.
I'll tell you what, and he was wrong, wasn't he, that fella that tipped us up the wink that it was a 2-dog race, 5 and 4. It wasn't a 2-dog race, Roy Brindley. It was a 1-dog race.
Yes, it certainly was a real corker. Well, we build these races up, don't we?
Yeah, let's go trackside then. There you go. They must be absolutely...
This race we would win. We thought he could do it, and it was a matter of he doing it all on the night, and he done it on the night.
He certainly did it very well indeed. I see David over there, Ollie Bray's nephew. You must be delighted there, David.
Yes, man.
This is brilliant. You lead him out all the time?
Yeah, every night.
Yeah.
He's just brilliant dog. Like.
Listen, a fantastic success, and listen, enjoy it. Well done, well done.
Yes, well, what a reception this greyhound is getting. I have never seen the like of it. This is fantastic. The place is absolutely going wild. We have seen an amazing performance from an amazing greyhound. 29.42 for the 550 yards. It absolutely smashes that record that was jointly held by Droopy's Vieri and Cool Performance of 29.57. 15 spots in the Derby final. How could he pick a better night to do it? Sensational. Now let's look at it again. We just watch here as number 4, Droopy's Reese, came away well. Droopy's Agassi didn't come away well, but showed his normal early pace to get into contention. But now Droopy's, or Bypass Byway, with this surge of his around the opening corners, he just glides around here, changes gears. Just watch, the gap suddenly appears. He leaves them for dead. It was absolutely sensational. It was like Schumacher going out of a bend as Bypass Byway raced clear from Droopy's Agassi on the outside. On the inside, Droopy's Reese. Number 3, Heavenly Hero is there. Tyra Bello is there trying to get into contention, but really it's all about one dog way out front as he came around that second last bend on to victory here. And what a performer, this bypass byway. He's a champion of all champions. This is a magical performance coming around that final bend. He's going as fast now as he was at the start. No let up tonight. He was nearly caught in the semi-final. No danger of it this time. Here he comes, bypass byway. Incredible, sensational. 29.42. And there we see the crowds down at the presentation podium on Taoiseach Bertie Ahern chatting to owner Michael Carney, and a very proud moment for Michael, who's been a doggy man for many, many years. He started walking dogs in Navan Track as a 12-year-old. He'll never forget this night. There's Paddy Bray trying to get into the picture, congratulating brother Ollie the trainer. I don't see Ollie himself. Where is he? The man who has done
Michael Fortune, he described that performance as sensational. Jason, referring to the Australian scene, I'd go awesome.
Absolutely awesome there. And, well, all the plaudits, they're all going to be richly deserved there. Our thanks to RTE. We can go over
to the Derby, Ollie. We're live on it here. You're saying there the pressure's over. It certainly is.
Yeah.
Did you expect him to win as well as that?
I knew the dog was right on fairly well in himself, and I was expecting if he popped, he'd do a good run. And we've been waiting for this day for a long, long time. The father bred up 25 years ago, brushed 10 to run up in 1977 with better short head, and it took us a long time to go one better.
Well, he certainly did it in fantastic style.
Yeah, delighted now for everybody concerned and all the well-wishers and everything. And
we just spoke there to Michael Carney, fantastic owner for you. Yeah. What's the plan now with him?
Oh, that's another day's work, another day.
Just got to enjoy it now.
One quick word, I'd like to thank all the well-wishers, and a special thanks to Brian Jones and Tony Collins.
You've done a marvellous job on an Ollie, and enjoy the success. Well done, well done.
Thanks to RTE again then, and just look at those scenes, absolutely fantastic. The flashbulbs, they're going to be a flashing, and why not? Bypass Byway, an absolute superstar. I tell you, I hope they give him a decent breakfast tomorrow. Certainly deserves it. A lovely glass jar there as well, but no doubt about the star.
Glass jar?
5, that's Bypass Byway, who's taken it, and of course presenting the trophy there, that's Bertie Ahern, no less than the Irish Prime Minister there. So it just shows you what high esteem they hold their greyhound racing is in Ireland. And look at that, a big check. Someone, I think's nicked that out the back. I hope they're going to keep an eye on that, but I'm sure they'd recognise it in the bank.
I noticed Paddy Power there. He was keeping his eye on the check as well, making sure that went in the right direction. But that was an awesome. Well done to trainer Ollie Bray. He would actually be over the moon, wouldn't it? Spyro Nikita's first Derby winner. So he's had a couple in the final before, I believe, Spyro Nikita. Hasn't actually managed to sire a Derby winner, but that was his first Derby winner. And you could see his bottom lip trembling there, Ollies, couldn't you? He was absolutely over the moon. Well done.
Yeah, fantastic scenes there in Ireland at Shelbourne Park, and well, we did promise you an absolute stunning performance. We didn't quite know who it was going to be by. Paul, you thought it was going to be by Trap 5, Bypass Byway. Congratulations to you. Droopy Zagassi never really got out for me today, but it's churlish really to look back in too much detail, because we have seen an absolute superstar, and well, we can just marvel in that performance here on Gobarkingmad. You're going to be seeing it a lot.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,